Rachel from 7 and All, and today I'm here to bring you a whole collab which is about our unpopular homeschool opinions. I'm hosting this collab and you can check out the playlist down below to see all the other moms sharing their unpopular homeschool opinions. I'm excited about this collab because I think so many times as homeschoolers who are on social media, you kind of see the same messages again and again and again on the internet, on social media based homeschool, and you can start to feel like you should be doing things the way that other people's do, and then you realize after a while, wait, like actually there's a reason I don't do it that way. Actually there's a reason that something else fits my family better. And so I just wanted us to be able to share a little bit about what we do that's unpopular in the trending homeschool world right now. And so that's why I've invited a whole bunch of ladies to share what they do that's a little bit more unpopular, not trendy, and to share the reasons why they do it. So I'm going to be bringing to you basically 2 of my unpopular homeschool opinions today and talking about my reasons why. And also, if you disagree with me, that's totally fine, because that's what this is all about. We all do homeschool a little bit differently. I don't expect people to share all of my opinions. I am fully believe be convinced in what you want to do and do it well. And I'm going to do the same thing. I don't believe that we all have to follow the same trends and the same opinions. I like the variety and the difference in the homeschool world, and I just wanted to be a little bit of a voice for difference. So, the first opinion I'm going to be talking about today is one that is very different from a lot within the homeschool community, because I believe in doing homeschool preschool. Now, if you are on homeschool Instagram, if you hang out with Charlotte Mason people a lot, if you do anything in homeschool on the internet, you're going to find out that actually a lot of homeschoolers do not believe in starting with schoolwork at a young age. I've seen so many times in like Facebook groups for homeschool moms, people talking about, hey, what preschool resources do you recommend? Or what preschool curriculum do you recommend? And they'll get like at least 10 moms commenting on their post saying, stop, don't do preschool. Delay any formal learning until at least 5 to 6 years of age. Most people start with learning way too early. Children shouldn't be reading or doing math till they're like 7. This is the kind of, I'm sure people feel like they're being super helpful by giving these types of responses. I'm not sure how it's that helpful to people who are asking for preschool resources, but I'm here to say, if you want to do preschool, you do you. I am super in support of homeschool preschool for several reasons. That I find it to be very valuable and a valid choice to make if you choose that. So here I am coming out in support of early learning and homeschool preschool, even with a curriculum, which I know a lot of people, for some reason, they hear preschool curriculum and they're like, peace out. So, what you'll always hear people who are against preschool saying is, at that age, children just need to play and they just need to read books. And what I say to that is, what do you think preschool is? Like, even in a real school, what do you think they're doing in preschool? Do you think it does not involve playing, crafts, reading books, like lots of fun stuff? Do you think they're sitting in desks, memorizing stuff? Like, nope. not in homeschool alone, but even in real preschools, daycares, everything, kids are playing. Kids are reading stories. You might use a curriculum to help take a little bit of the pressure off of you in planning all the books that you need to read and planning all the activities, but that's still exactly what you are doing. Preschool is fun. It's fun for the kid and it's fun for you as the parent. So don't think preschool means that you're forcing your kid to not play. It's actually a lot of fun. The second reason is days are actually really long. So people will say, just let your kids be outside. Which, for one thing, if you are an urban homeschool parent like I am and you live in an apartment in the sky, you don't have a yard, going to somewhere to play requires going somewhere else, finding a park, spending time there out. Actually, I think that just let them outside in the yard to play. I don't think people realize it, but it's actually a little bit of an entitled type of response. There are so many urban families that don't necessarily have safe places to just let their kids play, and a lot of parents maybe don't have 6 hours a day to just go spend outside, not working, watching their kids at some park a ways away from home to be outside. I fully believe in kids spending time outdoors, but not everybody has the same resources that everyone else has. So I think that whole just let them spend all their time outside is hard to swallow for a lot of parents who don't have a safe place to let small kids play outside without very close supervision. So not everybody has a fenced-in yard, not everybody lives in the countryside away from monkeys and dangerous wild animals. So just do keep that in mind. The days are long. Yes, we try to spend time playing outside. I let my son play with his blocks. He's currently in a huge Duplo phase, so he probably plays with blocks like at least 2 to 3 hours a day, maybe more. He's building constantly, but the days are long. Your kids wake up at 6:30 in the morning, they go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. Yes, you usually get a nap time somewhere in there, at least for me. Thankfully, I still get nap time. But what are you gonna fill all those hours with if you feel like I can't have any structure? No structured play. Actually, structure has a lot of benefit for both parent and for child. You need unstructure, but you also need structure. This little page is one of my favorite examples of this. This is something we do every day in his little coloring book. He has these little pages. You can tell he's supposed to color the same color in these circles. And so he's learning how to match the colors. We talk about how to say them. Verde, amarillo, azul. We talk about the words on the page. We get to do all this. This is structure. This is preschool, top school level, providing some structure right here, learning words, building vocabulary, building pencil skills to put it in the right place. And then this is unstructured. Then every day after he finishes his page, he tells me he's going to write his name. And he does this. I'm not sure his handwriting is that great yet. But I think both sides of this page are important. There are some who will tell you just leave it at this side. And that's fine. But I think both of these are valuable and can be learned from and can be a good experience. So, days, it helps moms, it helps kids to have some structure and to know what to expect. So adding in a little preschool routine with your 2, 3, 4-year-old is gonna help with those long days at home with your kids, to just have a little time that you know you can look forward to. So especially for parents of multiple children, I think preschoolers often kind of get lost in the shuffle. Because if you have a baby, they need you so much more. And if you have a big kid that you're homeschooling, they have a lot more structure. They have goals that they need to be meeting in their curriculum. They need to read to you out loud. They need to do your math. You need to explain things to them that are a little bit more advanced concepts. Whereas preschoolers, you can kind of tell them to just go play, and they just go play most of the time. So I actually think doing preschool intentionally gives you back more of that quality time that you can really enjoy with your preschooler. Because I know for me and my little guy, we look forward to it, we enjoy it so much, and it's that time where I'm not focused on his little brother, I'm not focused on his aunts, I'm just focused on him and spending time with him and having fun with him, getting to work on his vocabulary. Because mom life is busy. You can always find some more house cleaning to do, some more cooking to do, but when you kind of have that motivation of, I want to do school today, that gives you that motivation to sit down, color, read stories, do crafts, do puzzles, and talk with your kids. And I think it's a really positive experience. So, I mean, like this is another one of his favorite pages. He's got this little folding book. He makes this, it's a frog, it's a frog. He says, it's just a frog, it's just a frog. It's an alligator! Ah, it's gonna eat you. So it's like, who would deny your preschooler from doing this? So, and that comes from a workbook. Everybody hates workbooks. You think you gotta do it all on yourself. You don't have to do it all on your own. And workbooks these days are not lame. I mean, if you buy the good ones, they are not lame. This is really fun. He's got several of these. There's a mouse that turns into an elephant. He loves that one too. And you're getting to practice vocabulary, getting to see cause and effect when you're folding, getting to work on those fine motor skills. Preschool is fun, man. You can use so many great resources for a non-native speaking bilingual parent like me. It reminds me I need to work on Spanish. I need to read him his Spanish storybooks. These are a couple that we have. Abuela, Los Tres Cerditos, Las Abuelas de Liliana. It reminds me, oh yes, I need to get our Spanish in today. because my husband is the main Spanish speaker, but he is at work. So if I don't work on Spanish with him, their amount of Spanish exposure is getting lower. It lets me do markers because I'm not going to give my 2-year-old markers and let him play by himself, because that is a recipe for disaster. But if it's preschool time, we do our markers together. And he loves it. Isn't there just something about kids that like markers are so much more fun than crayons, which are so much less of a disaster if they accidentally get off the paper? But we can do this together. We do our workbooks. We read books in English. This is currently one of his favorites, approximately 3 times a day. This one also, he studies this like a textbook, like a college level textbook. He studies this every single day, like every page. This book is at least half an hour of our days currently. Cars, trucks, and things that go. It's epic. And guess what? This came with a preschool curriculum. Sorry. So I am pro preschool. If you want to do preschool with your kid, if you find it being a positive addition to your routine, don't feel like you're failing your kid by not just letting them play outdoors all day long or have totally unstructured play all day long. There's still plenty of time for play. It's not like preschoolers who are in a homeschool family tend to have a really tight schedule. You got a nice slow day, throw some quality time, preschool learning time in there and have a lot of fun with it. My second unpopular opinion that I should probably be even more scared to confess is that I'm not totally sold on the whole child-led and interest-led learning thing that is a huge trend in homeschooling. It's probably bigger than a trend. It is a whole philosophy, and I do get where it's coming from, of letting your children kind of lead the way to some extent in their education. But I think I'm very kind of medium on this scale of believing in child-led learning. I do think it has some value. We do practice it to some extent in our family. My sister, who just graduated from high school this past year, her whole entire senior year was just basically art related. She chose it. She's going to go into a field. She has dreams of being an illustrator. She's starting art school right now in college. So she just spent that whole year really preparing and diving deep into the subject to prepare for the career she wanted. That is interest-led learning. But I think there needs to be a big balance, because kids are kids for a reason and parents are parents for a reason. You know more about the world and what the world needs from your children than your children do. So if you go totally deep into interest-led learning, children who are interested in learning how to multiply, children who are interested in learning how to write their letters, in learning how to read, like there's lots of things that children just from pure childishness might not be interested in knowing how to do that actually they need to do. So I believe more as a parent coming in and being, hey, you're going to learn this, and it's not necessarily because you're interested in it, but it's because it's coming from a place of you trust me. You trust me to know what's best from you. We have a good relationship from parent to child. We have a good relationship of trust here, and I just need you to trust me on this one, that this is going to benefit you in life. So go ahead and learn how to read. Go ahead and memorize your multiplication tables, or learn how to understand what multiplication means, or different things that are important to you as a parent and that you know will be important to your child's life, of fundamental skills. Some high schoolers might not be really interested in civics, but it might be a state graduation for high school graduation requirement. So you're going to say, hey, guess what? This is just something you have to do. And yeah, you can go ahead and do lots of interest-based things. You can do unit studies that are child-led, interest-led, but there does have to be definitely times when the parent says, actually, trust me on this. You do need to learn this. And the child needs to be able to say, yeah, I do trust you. We have this good relationship, and I'm going to trust that you're a parent, I'm a child, and I'm going to do this schoolwork. I'm going to learn this subject. So those are 2 of my big homeschool unpopular opinions. There are definitely more. I often feel like a bit of an oddball in the homeschool community. We are, everybody does. Everybody does in their own way. And that's what this is all about. We all do things a little bit differently. We all see trends that are like, that's not for me. So you go ahead and do you. And go ahead and share some of your unpopular opinions in the comments below, because I'd love to hear them. I love to see the variety and the multicolored homeschool life here. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Do give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you aren't subscribed yet to see more from our adventurous and creative homeschooling family, 7 in all.